Let's talk a little bit about La Tri and everything that they've been doing, Mike, in order to build momentum going into this World Cup.
We have to start with what they've done in the academy system. And I know one team that you know really well, Independiente del Valle, has been the heart and soul of what they've built this national team upon. But I want to go back to the year 2019. You remember watching the U20 World Cup where Ecuador finished third? For me, that was this sense of a genesis point with this current group, right? You think of players like Kendry Páez, who was one of the stars of that team, playing in their first World Cup as a group in 2022 in Qatar, who you got to see them play. That's when I first took note of this group, that they were built a little bit different. And then, of course, you see a difference in these young players are going to Europe at 18 to 20 years old to develop at a faster rate.
Yeah, and you look at a lot of these guys that are playing in top European teams, and we mentioned the elite defense. First in William Pacho, who's playing at PSG, winning the Champions League, being a centerpiece of that defense, and now Piero Hincapié, who had the undefeated run with Bayer Leverkusen and arrived at Arsenal. They are securing Ecuador's name defensively, but in front you have a Moises Caicedo, and his ambitions are great. And this is a quote from very recently: "We can't settle just for qualifying. We know we're capable of more. We're well aware of the quality in our ranks, and we're raring to take that next step. So the days when simply qualifying was the be-all and end-all are confined to just the past." Best finish at a World Cup for Ecuador, round of 16. Can they do better this time around?
Yeah, I mean, they have a group that's there for the taking. And I know a lot of German fans won't like me saying this, but I don't think Germany are that good this World Cup. There's a lot of question marks. The big one is going to be how they start the tournament. And they have a generational talent in Moises Caicedo. They also have some game changers. The biggest question mark, though, Nico, we've always had is, can you get other goal scorers other than Ener Valencia?
Yeah, definitely. Ener Valencia with 6 World Cup goals. I had the privilege of watching his brace against Honduras in Curitiba. That Germany game is the last one. The Ivory Coast game in Philadelphia. Every Ecuadorian has it circled on his calendar, not only because it's the first inaugural match, because it is very close to the Ecuadorian diaspora that boasts almost 1 million people here in the New York, Connecticut area. I imagine all those guys are going to be going to Philadelphia, make it feel like a home game. But so many questions about Moises Caicedo and whether his double yellow card suspension will or will not be lifted. And for more on that, we welcome in Diego Arcos, the editor-in-chief of TC Televisión in Ecuador. Diego, how are you? Welcome to Morning Footy.
I'm fine. How are you doing, guys? Really excited to be here talking about this team and really enjoying how much you know about the team. Great.
Listen, I appreciate that. That's awesome to hear. Talk to me about Moises Caicedo and that suspension of the double yellow, potentially not playing against Ivory Coast.
You know that the whole country is really looking forward to see him playing in the first game. After listening to the president of the federation talking not once, but twice or probably more times about a probably change of regulations, the whole country is looking forward, because this didn't come because Ecuador started trying to make him play. Otamendi in Argentina is under the same condition. And after listening to the Argentinian Federation president talking about probably some kind of pardon for all the players, the whole country is really looking forward that FIFA and the World Cup is going to allow these players to be part of the teams. We still don't know. The president just gave a press conference a couple of days ago saying things are going pretty good, and he believes he might be playing the first game.
Diego, I mean, there's just one precedent that I need to look. If Ronaldo got his red card rescinded for an act of aggression, why can't Moises Caicedo, one of the 2 yellow cards, by the way, completely bogus, why can't Moises Caicedo also his suspension be rescinded?
Yes, a lot of people are talking about that, putting Cristiano Ronaldo's example, but there are more after the president. Always, every time he's talking, that's the first question. Every time he's making any public appearances, people are after him, just wanting to know what's going to happen with Moises. And his answers has been really, really wise, telling everything is on the path we need it to be. Things are going to be okay. I believe FIFA is understanding this. We already talk a lot about these chances, and it sounded pretty well. And I believe we might have good news in the next days. That's the last conclusion we had, and we're waiting for him to let the country know that he's going to be able to play.
Yeah, that'd be massive news. And for neutrals out there, I mean, you want to see a player of the quality of Moises Caicedo at a World Cup, and fair treatment all across the board, not just partial treatment towards Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, I want to take a bigger step back. I mean, there's some ballers. We mentioned Caicedo. We mentioned Pacho. I mean, Gonzalo Plata, who we covered at the Club World Cup, Flamengo. I mean, is this Ecuador's golden generation that we're seeing come to fruition?
That's a great question, because people talk about that every day. Every day. The illusion of the country, it's amazing. The expectations that the fans have right now are huge. And they already put that seal on the team. This is the best generation, the best players ever. I believe this is the best generation of players playing in Europe. Now they have to certify and be better of the team that played in Germany. Because that team that played in the World Cup in Germany went all the way to the second round and did so well. Those guys are the better players as a national team in the World Cup. These guys, for sure, are the golden era and the best generation of players in Europe. Now they have to certify it. Now they have to show the world and show Ecuador that they're able to at least get to the second stage and show the world that they can play. For sure, these guys belong to a generation that they learn and show the world that they can win. For so many years, Ecuador has been showing the world we can compete. We can compete. Now we have to show the world that we can win.
Diego, and the man that's taking Ecuador to the World Cup and leading from a managerial perspective is Sebastián Beccacece. What are the strengths since he has taken over in this incredible unbeaten run that he's currently experiencing with Ecuador, and what are potentially some of the weaknesses that his team shows?
I believe that he's always taking care of all the details. He's a very detailed coach. When you go to his practices, at least for the 20 minutes you can watch them, or when you can talk to him, you can realize that he's always taking care of all the details, like a crazy good man in the world, in good worlds, a wise man. And probably he's going to face a lot of a country that want him to put the team and play like a machine. If you walk around the city, if you walk around the streets, you will listen people mad with him, because they believe that another coach put this team to play better. They believe another coach could be able to have more of these players. So probably he's going to be listening a lot of pressure from the fans. Already he has. From the media. The media also believe this team is a machine, that they can win the World Cup. So sometimes you have to put your foot on the earth, remember who we are, and try to understand that. So for me, Beccacece is going to face a lot of pressure from the media and the fans. Yeah.
So let me just put it in perspective. Beccacece lost that first game against Brazil in his first ever game, and then he's gone 18 games unbeaten, a lot of draws. Yeah. But public opinion, Diego, public opinion is not wholeheartedly with Beccacece?
That's how big the illusion from this team is in this country.
Wow.
That's something that we have to really understand, because fans believe this team could go all the way to the semifinals. So if the team doesn't play well, they are blaming Beccacece, not the players. So after so many draws, so many games that winded up 0-0, the fans are not happy. That's not good at all, but you know how fans are.
Yeah, look, we cover South American football, we cover African football, so a bit of the drama there. But the only thing I can think of is just the discontent with the lack of goals, right? There should be more goals in this Ecuadorian side. Well, when we look at the roster, I mean, we named some of the stars of this team, but for you, Diego, who could be a breakout star for Ecuador at the World Cup?
Player to watch, Nilson Angulo. He is also from those teams that you guys were talking about, of Independiente del Valle. He's a very talented player. I believe he could become a force in this team. He needs to play more. He needs to have more minutes with the team. But anytime he has been healthy and playing for the team, he has been great. In the last game against Argentina, he really showed the world what he's capable of, and he's doing it right now. He has not been able to play in the past games because he was hurt, but take a look at Nilson Angulo, because he's a player that just got to the Premier League and has all the skills to be a great player in this next World Cup. Believe me.
Diego, one last question for you before we let you go. Where do you think Ecuador is going to finish?
I believe they're going to be the second stage. Then sometimes you don't know who we're going to be facing. You could be facing France. But I believe this team has all the potential to get to the second stage. Absolutely. Then it's another tournament. Once the second stage of the World Cup starts, it's a whole new ball game. So sometimes you could be lucky. Sometimes you could have a good or a bad day. But I'm sure this team is going to be up to the expectations in the second stage. I don't know what's going to happen in the second stage, but I believe it's going to go all the way to be part of the teams that go through their main stage.
Yeah, definitely. And there's potential that in a later stage, like around the 16, Ecuador could draw Argentina. Diego, thank you very much for your time. Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount+.